Can you have an implied contract at work? Imagine going to a restaurant and being told you will get a free dessert if you finish your meal. Even if it's not written down, you might expect it. That's similar to how implied contracts work in employment. In the world of labor and employment law, an implied contract is an agreement that isn't written or spoken directly but is created through actions or words. It's like when an employer's behavior suggests certain promises or protections. For example, if an employer consistently follows a disciplinary process before firing someone, employees might believe they are protected from being fired without cause. Most jobs in the United States are at will, meaning either side can end the employment at any time without a reason. But implied contracts can change that. They add extra promises based on how the employer acts or what they say. There are two main kinds of implied contracts. The first is implied in fact contracts. These come from real behavior or circumstances that suggest a mutual agreement. For example, if an employer verbally promises job security or regularly gives positive performance reviews, employees might think they have a contract that protects them from unfair dismissal. The second type is implied in law contracts, also called quasi-contracts. These are created by law to prevent unfairness, even if no one explicitly agreed. They are less common but can happen if the law sees a need to protect workers in specific situations. Practical examples include employee handbooks that explain disciplinary steps or comments during reviews that hint at continued employment if certain standards are met. These can create expectations that the employer must follow, limiting the employer's ability to fire someone without cause. From a legal point of view, implied contracts matter because they can protect workers from wrongful termination. If an employer breaches what the employee reasonably believed was promised, the employee might have grounds for a legal claim. Employers often try to avoid accidental implied contracts by including clear disclaimers in handbooks or offer letters. These disclaimers usually state that employment is at will and can be ended at any time. So, to answer the question directly, yes, you can have an implied contract at work. It happens when the employer's conduct or statements lead an employee to believe they have certain job protections, even without a written agreement. This can be an important exception to the usual at will rule and can have real legal effects for both sides.